Good afternoon. I'm Monisa Klein, and we are here at GBTA Broadcast Studio. We just came off the main stage event where they had sustainability panel, and it went great. And we're picking back up here at the broadcast studio. And with me today, I have Mr. Andreas Schek, who came all the way from Santiago, Chile. Andreas is the Vice President of Sales and Branding for LATAM Airlines. Welcome, Andreas.
Great, welcome, and thank you for having me here and for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us and spending some time and talking about LATAM. So, how's it going?
It has been very rough times, but with a lot of learnings, and I think we are all growing with this crisis.
Yes.
And learning from
and
them.
we were just talking about the COVID world, right? There's been a lot of disruptions. It's obviously had a huge impact on business. And so how is LATAM dealing with that?
Yeah, in the COVID world, when this crisis began, we took three approaches. The first approach was to continue to ensure security with hygiene, of course, in the planes because of COVID, and we started that way before even the pandemic was declared. We were always well in contact with the different organizations, IATA, with the World Health Organization. We reinforced our protocols for hygiene in all of flights early the year 2020.
Excellent.
So it was very good on that side to adapt our processes and our security. That's always first choice for us. Sure. on that issue. The second thing we did was to deal with the disruption. I mean, imagine we're an airline that we sell almost 100 million tickets a year.
Yes.
It caught us with a lot of passengers having to change their tickets to have additional flexibility and everything. And for that, we made great efforts to meet their expectations and to try to reduce the disruption that all our customers had with all these problems, of the pandemic. So in that process, we made also efforts with marketing to be more close to the customer, give them more communication, and to understand what are the communication needs in each travel they do and how we can help to make that easier. And the third point that we worked during this pandemic is to rethink the complete journey for customer. We call it door to door. So when he thinks to travel until he comes back from the travel. And how we can adapt that one to a world where most probably some of the learnings of the pandemic will be how do we reduce friction, but also contact with surfaces, contact with people in the process, because traveling involves a lot of interactions with people. So we redesigned our process, and we're working heavily with technological resources to boost, for example, biometric boarding, of course, self-backtag and self-backdrop, and also we are one of the only airlines that have no check-in requirements in our home markets. So when you buy a ticket, you already have the boarding on your phone. So you don't have to interact in the airport or touch screens and get the boarding and then walk. No, just go with your phone, you show it, and you're done. So we worked on these three pillars, and it has been very challenging for our company.
Wow. Well, it's great to be here, at this Global Business Travel Conference, right? It's the first time that GBTA has had this conference in over 2 years because of the pandemic. And so what are some things that LATAM has done to prepare for the corporate travel segment?
It's a very interesting question, because we at the beginning, when this pandemic started, we were there was a lot of uncertainty about the future travel of corporate business, no? And we read a lot of insight that we got from consultancy companies and everything, and we made like a projection, like a kind of boundaries where we think the demand will move in the next 18 months. But now that we look back, we are more optimistic compared to that analysis.
Good.
Yes, we have seen that the hybrid world is very efficient, having the small faces on the screen, of course, are very business driven, and you go just right to the point and make things happen. But we can see it here. I mean, the eye to eye, the human contact.
Oh, an important announcement.
Thank you for your cooperation.
There we are.
There we go.
So the human eye to eye, the human contact makes that
So
all the
important.
difference.
So important.
We need to reconnect with customers, we need to reconnect with the projects, with our teams, with the industry. This event, for example, is one of the first events that is in person, and it gives a complete different sense of empathy also with the
Yes.
customers to really understand how can we learn day by day to be better serving them. And it's very difficult to get that only in a small video screen.
Yes, I agree.
So together with that, we are proposing a new corporate value proposition for our customers. It's called the LATAM Corporate Customer. And what we do with them is we have a special set of initiatives that will help them to make their travel more seamless, easier, and also with more choice.
Okay.
We have a full service airline that is very focused on giving choices to a customer. Flexibility, and if you want to travel basic and very light, there's one product, and if you want to have the best business cabin in South America, there's another product for that also on the same airline. And within that, we also have the new launching of a new sustainability program. It's called the One by One. So if our customers want to offset their flight, we will match that and double their efforts. So we face this together. So it's a lot of things going on with us.
Excellent. A lot of
Yeah.
exciting news and
Yeah.
great offerings for the corporate marketplace, right?
Yeah.
So sustainability is a hot topic. It's been top of mind throughout the convention. Yesterday and today, it was talked about all day. What are some initiatives that LATAM is doing related to sustainability?
I just went to the
The luncheon?
the luncheon with
Yeah.
where the Shell talked about that.
Yes.
And I think when you talk about sustainability, the first word that comes to my mind is collaboration. We are in a heavy competitive industry, maybe one of the most competitive industry in the world. But when it comes to sustainability, we have to collaborate. And everyone on that speech had a different position, a different view on how to handle sustainability, and all of them are right. I mean, there are so many angles to face this, and the problem is so complex that we really need to engage not only airlines, but also customers, agencies, terrestrial services. So we have to engage the whole travel ecosystem into solving this problem. In our company, what we decided is, first, we are enabling all the technologies available to reduce our emissions. And for example, with SAF fuel, that we're doing already some tests with them. Also with improved technology in our fleet. For example, with Airbus, we just closed a deal for 200 Airbus, where with enhanced technology on the board computer, you can save tons and tons of CO2 in the flight. So it's very interesting. And on the other side, for our use of fossil fuels, we have a compensation program, but it's focused on developing the ecosystem of sustainability and not only just buying bonds in the market.
Right.
So we are looking for one iconic project in each country where we serve to actually make the impact in the region where we operate, and also enable communities, enable entrepreneurship that is around all this huge effort of protecting different areas. So it's much more than just making offset. We are really committed to generate a buzz and a really that the market understands this is a thing that we all have to do together, and it's the best way to do this is to bring these projects to the countries where we operate.
Gotcha.
So now we just launched a new program. It's called the BioCO2. It's more than 2 million acres of land that has been protected by more than 200 landlords in Colombia. And they protect the complete ecosystem. There are swamps, there are forests, there are animals, and all this ecosystem, we are committed to preserve that one, and we're looking for this kind of projects in every home market where we operate.
Excellent. That's a great approach.
Yeah, and so we engage also communities to really
Right.
get aware. I
Right.
believe sustainability is a thing about awareness because everyone wants to be neutral. And
Right.
but when it comes to make an effort, it's different. So this is
Yes,
important to
yes.
create this awareness. So collaboration for us
Yeah.
is the most important among all the stakeholders in this problematic.
And I like how you're doing the local regional approach too. I think that's really smart. So you get some local buy-in as well, right?
Yeah, of course, and you
So-
get also connection with communities, and it makes it a real, a common solution.
Yeah.
So it's important for us.
Well, Andreas, it sounds like there's some exciting things happening at LATAM. You obviously are addressing all the things that are top of mind to the business traveler. And thank you so much for spending some time with me and spending time here at the broadcast studio.
Great, thank you for inviting me.
Wonderful
for
to
this.
have you here.
Thank you very much.
I'm Monisa Klein here at the GBTA broadcast studio. Stay tuned for more.